Welcome back. So you've completed Module 1, I hope, and now moving into the first sort of real content module. This is going to be the first of 4 introductory physical geography modules. And the idea is that we look at, kind of start with the world, the globe, and sort of look at layer upon layer of different physical features, which means that we will cover the solid Earth in the lithosphere module, this module. We will then go to the hydrosphere, which is the water, and the atmosphere, and then the biosphere. So it's a little bit of a creation story, if you follow me. Anyway, so thank you so much initially for responding to those introductory surveys and introducing yourself to your classmates. It's really cool to hear all of your different backgrounds, from engineering to, astrophysics and language and primary ed and medicine, all kinds of fascinating majors in this course. Some of the concerns that I saw in the survey is a lot of you mentioned time management, first time in an online course. That's fine. I hope our approach to make sure that pretty much every module starts on a Wednesday, ends on a Tuesday, should help you just focus on one deadline per week. There will be some exceptions toward the end, but generally we're going to stick to that pattern. Online is also a little bit awkward for everyone, including me, who's just right now talking into a camera with no people in front of me. That is a weird thing, and we'll just have to live with that. There's been some about memorizing places and wondering if I'm going to be good at geography. Really, you'll discover that this is very little about memorizing places. There's a little bit of that in the map quizzes, but most of it is really about understanding more about those places, why certain things happen and why they look like they do. That's really the more important question than just answering where and what is there. The technology is obviously a little bit of a concern. We're throwing a lot at you at these first couple of modules. Recording your own video and participating in discussion, finding an online map and navigating that. There is a lot. But just try to spend a little bit extra time navigating that. If you run into pure technical problems, like a browser doesn't work or there's something with your computer or internet, that is something you have to figure out with the help of our IT specialists. And there are multiple routes for that, as I've listed in the syllabus. If there's anything else about the content, that's a question for us. And first point of reference is the Q&A, the general discussion forum for the course, where students have already posted some questions, and sometimes the student has responded, sometimes I have responded, and we'll just try to get that discussion going, and that should be helpful for most, I think. Now, the discussion groups are meant to start building a little bit of a community. These discussions will follow you through the course, and the groups will be the same, stay the same throughout the course. And there are 4 major current event assignments tied to that discussion, and 2 other scaffolding activities that lead toward the final paper. So it's important, I think, that these discussion groups become a sort of a nice home for you, that you start to learn, kind of recognize each other and sort of get to know each other, basically, because you will be supporting each other in your development as geographers, budding geographers. That's why this first introduction is really helpful, to kind of know who we are in each group. So moving on to this module now, the lithosphere. Solid Earth, we start with looking at the world as a big blob of solid rock, or molten rock in some places. So the lithosphere. And there are a couple of modules that will help you learn maybe some new, maybe repeat some old things you already knew. And towards the end, you will see the first current event activity, which deals with earthquakes. So earthquakes happen all the time around the world, and it's just natural that we bring in a current event earthquake in our first current event activity. I was tempted to start you off with Hurricane Harvey simply because next week we will dive into the hydrosphere and all the water that is moving around our planet. But I'm probably going to move that to module 3 and do that as a current event activity 2 weeks from now. So stay tuned for that. But for now, we're going to focus on a couple of earthquakes, or a series of earthquakes really, that has happened in the Mediterranean. And I hope you'll find that sort of venture into applying some of what you learned to a real event rewarding. And this will be done through these discussions. So I hope you enjoy this module, and hope to see you soon in module 2 and eventually introducing module 3 in a week. But be sure to complete all the assignments by the due date next Tuesday. See you soon.